Hello everyone, welcome back to the fabrication shop. Today we're going to be looking at finishing the decal sheets from the original Scrambler rocket. Now if you're new to our channel, we want to encourage you to subscribe and hit the bell so that you can be notified when we drop our next video. In the last episode we discussed how to clean up the graphics that make the decals for our Scrambler tribute rocket. Now we're going to take these graphics and create a decal sheet. As we noted before, one of the problems with the original scan of the decal sheet was the lack of a scale, so we have no idea how big the sheet should be. Another issue we're dealing with this decal sheet is that the Green Eggs body tube has a larger diameter than the original Scrambler. The roll pattern decals were designed for a BT60 tube, which has a diameter of 1.637 inches. The Green Eggs uses a BT65 body tube with a diameter of 1.8 inches. We need to know the circumference so we know how long the roll pattern needs to be. To get the circumference, we multiply the diameter by pi, which comes to 5.652 inches. We'll keep that number handy when we transfer our graphic to our decal sheet. We're going to start creating our decal sheet by opening up our word processor. I'm using LibreOffice, but any word processor that will import graphics will work. I begin by importing the roll pattern. I set the width of the decal to 5.652 inches. Now I add the other two graphics to the sheet. I left these graphics at their original size. And now I save my work. The next thing I'm going to do is print out the decal sheet on plain paper. These will be used to test fit the decals. Because these are just being used for a test fit, I use the draft print settings on my printer. Once they're printed out, I cut out the graphics and I use a little bit of painter's tape to attach the graphics to the rocket and check their fit. If I see anything that needs to be changed, I'll make the adjustments in my word processor, and if needed, I'll print out another copy and check it again. One thing to remember is that the paper decals are thicker than the actual decal material. For example, if the roll pattern ends up butting the edges of the paper, then there'll be a slight overlap when you use the decal material. Once you have the graphic sized properly, it's time to print the actual decals. Now you're going to want to change the print settings. It should be the equivalent of printing a high quality photograph. Once printed, allow a few minutes for them to dry, then cut the decal sheet from the remaining decal material. Your decals need to be protected when we place the material in water. I have been using Testors Decal Bonder Spray. Unfortunately, Testors no longer makes this. You can use clear acrylic spray, and I've been told that workable fixative will also work, but I've never tried that one. When you spray, you want to use two light coats. Heavy coats can cause the ink to run, and it'll ruin the decals. Make sure the decals are completely covered, then allow the clear coat to dry. As you get ready to cut out the decals, you want to get as close to the edge as possible. While you can use scissors, I recommend using a new sharp knife blade. Your printed decals are applied like any other decal. Depending on the decal material you bought, you may find the material is thinner than what you may be used to. Take your time. Wet the area prior to placing the decal. Use a damp towel to smooth out the decal. Allow these decals to completely dry before you handle the model. That concludes this episode on decal making. In our next episode, we'll look at attaching the recovery systems. If you've enjoyed this video, and if you like what we're doing here, please click on the like and subscribe buttons. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified when we drop our next video. So until next time, wishing you all the best, and take care.